Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
Hi guys, I'm here with the cats and I wanted to talk about season 6, which is starting now. Hello, Stella. So we just finished season 5, and season 5 was a very rough season for the Lucky Ferals. It started with losing Hydrox in the beginning of last August. And then a few months later, Ditto was diagnosed with mouth cancer, right, Stella? It wasn't fun. And I brought Ditto inside, and Ditto lived inside for 5 months, and he passed away in March of 2022, so earlier this year. So those were 2 major losses for us, and it takes a while to adjust to things like that. Overall, for the YouTube channel, it was a pretty good year. We started season 5 with almost 28,000 subscribers, and we ended season 5 with almost 42,000 subscribers. So that's about a 50% increase. And because YouTube was only supporting our long form content, meaning videos that were 2 to 4 hours long, that's what we focused on. So throughout season 5, it was mostly compilation videos, very long form content, and real-time updates about Ditto. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I started posting Boo Day videos at the end of July in 2017. And I followed Boo's journey for 365 days. So I posted a cat vlog about Boo's journey every single day for a year. And that ended up being Lucky Ferals season 1. I had been posting cat videos the year prior to that, but those were kind of more just like random postings. And then when Boo showed up at my back door, that's when I started the daily vlog. After the first year of that, it went on to Boo year 2. And after Boo year 2, it went on to Lucky Ferals season 3, season 4, season 5, and now we're at season 6. So a Lucky Ferals season starts at the end of July and goes until the following end of July. So it's a full year. Right now, since it is the beginning of September, we are a little more than a month behind with when the videos are posted versus when they are filmed. I'm hoping to catch up with that and to close the gap. So we are potentially only a few days behind or even a week behind. Some of the shorter videos that I've been posting are happening the same day. And that brings me to what we can expect during season 6. Hey, Splashy. Splash has been watching from a distance. So very recently, YouTube has changed their algorithm once again, and it has been very much affecting this channel. And the changes with the algorithm are with regards to length of the content and also frequency of uploads. YouTube is now very much focusing on their shorts platform, so you can expect to see quite a bit more shorts content on this channel. And nearly everything that is posted in YouTube Shorts is also posted on Instagram or TikTok. So if you're not following Lucky Ferals on Instagram or TikTok, you definitely want to do that so you don't miss anything. And we will also be experimenting with length of videos. So there will also be some short videos, some medium length videos, some long videos. I'm going to continue to do compilations and episodes, and there will be topic-based videos. It might seem like the uploads are more random, and we're also going to be experimenting with publishing times. So it ends up that YouTube is telling us that the majority of our viewers are watching earlier in the day. They're watching between 11 a.m. and about 2 p.m. That's when the majority of our viewers are on YouTube at the same time. So we will be trying to post videos around that time, which is much earlier in the day than posting evening videos. And I think that is everything that you can expect from season 6. Here's Simba. He says thank you so much for watching him. And here's Boo. Boo says thank you so much also. And here's Stella. Stella says she appreciates you very much. Thank you for watching. Let's talk about the price of cat food because I am honestly in shock.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
So if you watch this channel, you know that I feed my cats a diet of homemade raw cat food. They get commercial raw cat food, and then they get dry cat food and canned cat food as a treat. They also get fish-based canned cat food once a week. So it's not very often that I buy canned cat food for my cats. And the price of the raw cat food that I do buy for my cats has not changed that much at all. It's always been very pricey and it continues to be very pricey, and I have not noticed a major price increase in it. However, I was in a supermarket last week and it was a new store. I'd never been in it before, and I was walking up and down the aisles just to see what they sold there, and I came across their pet food section. And I looked at the cat food that they were selling, and they were selling cans of Friskies cat food for $1.09 a can. I was completely in shock when I saw that. So I remember paying 49 cents a can for Friskies cat food when I used to buy it for the cats. So we're talking between probably 4 and 5 years ago is when I remember paying 49 cents a can. Prior to that, in 2006, when Stella, Boo, and the kittens were feral cats living outside, I used to buy them cans of Friskies for 46 cents a can, sometimes 45 cents a can. That's what I remember paying for it back then. Let's say 5 years ago, I paid 46 to 49 cents a can for Friskies. I then checked my receipts because I keep receipts for every single thing I buy, and I've been digitizing my receipts lately, so I was able to look on my computer, search for Friskies, and I found a receipt from November of 2021. So that was when Ditto had first come inside, and I was trying to figure out what kind of food he responded to. He was dealing with severe mouth issues. We did not know if it was an abscess or cancer yet, so I was just trying to figure out, okay, what can he eat? And on my receipt, I spent 60 cents a can for Friskies. So that was 10 months ago. 10 months ago, I spent 60 cents a can on Friskies. So after I left the store that was selling Friskies for $1.09 a can, I decided to check out a few other local stores and to see what their prices were. I went to the local pet food store where I normally buy the cats the commercial raw food that I feed them, and the price on the shelf for the Friskies was 85 cents a can. However, they had it on sale for 76 cents a can. So I thought, okay, well, at least that's better than $1.09 a can. But I was still curious as to what the prices would be at other local stores. So I went to my local supermarket, which is where I used to buy the Friskies in the past when I used to spend 46 to 49 cents a can. And the price at the local supermarket is 80 cents a can. So back in November, 10 months ago, when I bought Friskies, I spent 60 cents a can. 10 months later, less than a year, it is now 80 cents a can. We're just going to use 80 cents as the average local price. If we do the math, that means that the price of Friskies has gone up 33% in the past 10 months. In less than a year, the price of this canned cat food has gone up 33%. And if we do the math with what I was spending 5 years ago on this Friskies, the cost has gone up 63% in 5 years. In the past 5 years, the cost of this cat food has gone up 63%. So back to the pet food store where I get the cats their raw food. After I noticed the price of the Friskies, I said, well, let me go look at the price of the large cans of Wellness that I remember pricing out for the cats a few years ago. They were $2.99 for a large can. And about a year ago, I remember stocking up and buying several cases of the large cans for the cats to have here as backup. Those cans are now being sold for $4.79 a can. So I was paying $2.99 a few years ago, and they're now $4.79. And that is a 60% increase in price. So it looks like on average, the cost of canned cat food has gone up 60% over the past 3 to 5 years. The reason why I'm so shocked by these numbers and the increase in cost is because I do live in the world of raw cat food, where it has been more expensive to buy the raw food all along, which is why I started making my own homemade raw food. So making my own homemade raw cat food costs about half as much as it does to buy the commercially made and sold raw cat food. But I really feel like it's getting to a point where the canned cat food is almost just as expensive as the raw food if you sit down and do the math and figure out how much it costs per pound. So let's do some math. Commercially sold raw cat food averages about $8 a pound, depending on what you buy and where you buy it. Now, I can make the homemade raw cat food for half that, so let's say $4 a pound. And $4 a pound is using organic chicken, so that's more than if I was just to use just like regular chicken from a supermarket. If we look at a large can of Wellness, which is 12.5 ounces, and it's currently being sold for $4.79 at my local pet food store. So if we do the math and figure out how much it costs per ounce and then multiply that by 16 to get how much it costs a pound, it costs $6.13 for a pound of that canned cat food. So it's cheaper for me to make homemade raw food than it is to buy that canned cat food. And if I'm paying 80 cents a can for a 5.5 ounce can of Friskies, and if we figure out how much it costs per ounce, which is about 14.5 cents an ounce, and if we times that by 16 ounces to get a pound of food, that's costing $2.33 for a pound of food. So it's currently costing $2.33 for a pound of Friskies pate cat food. I think I could make homemade raw food cheaper than that, which I will be doing in an upcoming video. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching this video after that other video has already posted, I will put a link to the other video in the comment section below this video. So make sure you check out the comment section. So let me know what your thoughts are with regards to the price of cat food right now. What are you currently paying for the cat food that you buy for your cats? How much has it gone up from what you were paying a year ago? How much has it gone up from what you were paying a few years ago? And has it changed the way you're feeding your cats, or has it changed what you're feeding your cats? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. I'm making homemade raw food for the cats that is going to be cheaper than Friskies.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
These are the main ingredients that I am using. I have 10 pounds of fresh chicken thighs. This is 5 pounds, and this is 5 pounds. And I paid $1.29 per pound. I also have a package of chicken hearts. I paid $2.49 a pound for these chicken hearts. We're only going to use some of them. And I have a container of chicken livers. These were $2.49 a pound also, and we're only using some of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is weigh out the chicken hearts and the chicken livers so I have enough for this recipe. Anything left over I am going to freeze, and I'll use it for the next time that I make homemade raw food for the cats. Here's my food scale. I got this for less than $10 at Marshall's. You could also get them pretty cheap on Amazon. I'll put a link to food scales in the description below this video and in the comment section. So I want to weigh out 14 ounces of the chicken hearts. So there's 14 ounces. I am going to put these aside and we'll be using this in the recipe. This is what's left in the package. I am going to put these in a freezer safe container in my freezer. This is Stella. She gets very excited every time I make homemade raw food and she always wants to help me. So here she is. Now we're going to measure out 7 ounces of the raw liver. So I buy the liver and the hearts at local ethnic markets. Sometimes it can be very hard to find chicken hearts or chicken livers in a regular supermarket. But if you have a local ethnic market, like a local Asian market, a local Russian market, a local Italian market, that's where I find these organ meats. And if you have a hard time finding them, that's where I would suggest looking for them. So this is 7.2 ounces. The recipe calls for 7 ounces of the chicken livers and 14 ounces of the chicken hearts. If you cannot find the chicken hearts, you can add extra taurine. You could add 4,000 milligrams of extra taurine if you can't find the chicken hearts, and you can replace that with 14 ounces of the chicken thigh meat. So we're using 14 ounces of chicken hearts, and again, if you can't find that, use 4,000 milligrams of taurine and 14 ounces of the chicken thighs in place of the hearts. But if you can find the hearts, definitely find the hearts, because organ meats such as hearts and liver are full of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that are really important for your cat. You have to remember, when a cat is living in the wild and they're killing their prey, if they're killing a bird or a mouse or whatever they're eating, they're not just eating the muscle meat, they're eating all of the internal organs also, because the organs are full of nutrients. So that's why we want to make sure we include organ meats in our recipe. And if you're looking at ingredients in a can of cat food, these should be listed as chicken livers and chicken hearts, but sometimes they're referred to as byproducts. So these would be chicken byproducts, because anything that is not muscle meat is a byproduct. So in many cases, when you see the word byproduct on a can of cat food, as long as it specifies where the byproducts are from, there is nothing bad about that. If it says chicken byproducts, you know it's from a chicken, and you know it's something other than the muscle meat. And if you think about what a cat eats when it kills a bird, it's not just eating the muscle meat, it's eating all the byproducts, everything, including the muscle meat. So that's why it's really important to include organ meats when you make homemade food. The next thing we want to do is get our chicken ready for the grinder. So I have a bowl here. I'll be putting the chicken in this bowl. And the recipe I'm using says to take the skin off half of the chicken. So I'm going to take the skin off this entire package of chicken. And if you have cats that are on the chubby side, you can take the skin off of all of the chicken. You don't want to remove the fat from the chicken, because it's important for cats to get a healthy amount of fat in their diet. But if you're trying to reduce the weight of your cats, you could take the skin off of all of the pieces of chicken, or you could take the skin off of like 75% of the pieces of chicken. And if you're trying to just maintain weight, it says just to take the skin off of half of the pieces of chicken. So for this recipe, we're going to take the skin off of half of the pieces. So here's a chicken thigh. It's good to wear gloves for this. I just really just pull the skin off like that. There's still a little bit of fat on it, but that's okay. And if you want to trim some of the skin that might not pull off, you could also do that. And if you have a use for this chicken skin, then obviously put it to good use. But we're not going to be using it in this recipe. This recipe says to remove 25% of the bone from these chicken thighs. So each 5-pound pack has 8 pieces of chicken. I just took the skin off of 8 pieces of chicken. And so we're going to remove the bones from 4 of those pieces, and that will be from 25%, because I have a total of 16 pieces, and 25% of 16 is 4. So here's my chicken thigh, and this is the way that I take the bone out. I am not a chef. This is probably not the professional way to do it. This is just the way that I do it. So I put the chicken thigh on this board so that I can see the bone. It's like bone side up. And then I just try to cut along the bone on one side. And then I turn it around and I try to cut along the bone on the other side. I mean, our goal is just to get the bone out. It doesn't have to be pretty. And then what I'll do is I'll take my knife and, just being very careful, I'll put it underneath the bone and work my way up to the top and just kind of cut it free the best that I can. And this is not like a cooking show you see on TV. Nothing has to look pretty. It's all going to be thrown in a grinder for cats. So I just take my knife and kind of work it down the bone to free up as much meat as I can. And then now that we're on the bottom, I just try to cut the rest of the bone free. So there's the bone, that's not too bad. And then I think there's a little bit more here, maybe it's just some tough cartilage. And you can use any knife that you're comfortable using. You can use a large chef's knife if you're comfortable with that. I like to use a utility knife. So I need to do this for 3 more of these thighs. I just opened the second package of chicken thighs, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces to fit the grinder better. So here's my chicken thigh. Again, it's bone side up, and I'm just going to cut 1/3 of it off of the right. And this still has the skin on it, and then I'm just going to cut off another chunk on this side. Again, it is more helpful if you have a sharp knife. So these pieces will easily fit into the grinder. So here's all the chicken. It is ready for the grinder. This is the grinder that I will be using today. It is a stand mixer attachment. And I got this at Bed Bath & Beyond almost a year ago. They were selling it for $99.99. I believe that was the price. And then I had a 20% off coupon. So I got it for around $80. And at the time, I wanted to make small batches of homemade raw food for Ditto. And I could not grind up any bones because he had a very large wound in his mouth. So everything that I fed him had to be really soft and then eventually totally pureed. So that's why I bought this, just so I could do small batches for him. I do have a larger professional butcher series grinder that I normally use when I make homemade raw food for the cats. That grinder costs around $500, and this grinder is much cheaper and it is more accessible for more people. So that's why today I am using this one. And I'll put a link in the description and in the comment section below this video to where you can also purchase this food grinder. So I still keep it in the box. I use it, then I clean it, and I put it right back in the box. So this is the grinder attachment. And the last time I used it, I used a really fine grind on it, but we don't want to do that when we're grinding up bones. We want to use a much coarser grind. So this comes with 3 grinding blades. Here we have a fine, a medium, and a coarse blade. Normally what I'll do is I'll use the coarse blade first, and I'll use the pieces of chicken that don't have bones. Like, you know how we took bones out of 1/4 of the chicken? So we took bones out of 4 of the chicken thighs. Normally I would grind those coarsely, and then I would change out the blade to like the medium blade and then grind up the pieces with the bones. But today I'm not going to do that. We're just going to use the medium blade for everything. This meat grinder is basically a mini version of the larger meat grinder that I use when I'm making larger portions of cat food. So here's my stand mixer, and this is where the grinding attachment goes. So I'm going to take this piece off, and I'm just going to put in the grinding attachment. Make sure the side is loose enough that it fits right in, and then we're going to tighten it up. And that was easy. I normally use a large aluminum pan to catch the ground meat. So the ground meat will come out here and it will fall into the pan, and then it makes it really easy to mix everything together in a large pan. The first thing that I usually start with are the organ meats because they are the softest, they are the easiest to go through the grinder, and then I follow them up with the firmer pieces of chicken. So I'm going to start with the chicken livers. Also, you want to make sure that you put your hand here in front of where the meat comes out in case anything splatters. That can happen when you first start grinding, especially with organ meats. So you want to use speed number 4. So that's what it looks like. We have the liver on the bottom. It's really liquidy, and then these are what the hearts look like. And you definitely want to use the food pusher to help push the meat through the grinder. Now we're going to work on the rest of the thigh meat. Here's a piece with the bone. Here's all the meat that just went through the grinder. I am going to unplug the mixer and take the grinding attachment off, and then we're going to add some more ingredients to this ground meat. I am now adding 4 raw egg yolks. You don't want to add the egg whites because raw egg whites can block the absorption of some B vitamins in cats, but the yolks are fine. They're very high in nutrients. I'm adding 2 capsules of taurine. These are 1,000 milligrams of taurine, so I'm adding 2,000 milligrams. So raw meat has a lot of taurine in it, specifically the chicken hearts we put in here and the dark meat of the chicken thighs. Those all have taurine in them. And I've spoken to my vet about this, about do you need to add additional taurine when you're making homemade food with raw meat. He feels that you don't need to add the extra taurine because there is the naturally occurring taurine in the meat. He also acknowledges that there are other vets that definitely think you do need to add the extra taurine, and the recipe I'm using says to add extra taurine. Some people feel that it's not harmful to the cats. Other people feel that nobody really knows if it will be harmful in the long run, since it is an additional supplement and it's not the naturally occurring taurine. So sometimes it's better to err on the side of caution. This recipe includes it, so I am going to include it also. What I normally do is I just break open a taurine capsule and I sprinkle it on. And I'll do it with the other one also. And this is all going to get mixed together. Adding additional taurine is just basically like having an insurance policy, just to make sure that there's enough in the meat for the cats. There normally should be, but some people just like that extra boost. This recipe also calls for 4,000 milligrams of fish oil. I've used several different fish oil supplements. The one I'm currently using is this Grizzly Salmon Plus Omega 369 food supplement for dogs and cats. One pump has 1,000 milligrams, so I'm adding 4 pumps. I actually added 5 because some of those were not full pumps. I also make sure that my cats eat fish-based food 1 day a week to make sure that they're getting a good amount of omega-3s in their diet that way. So I'll feed them some canned sardines, some canned salmon, that kind of food. Now we want 200 milligrams of vitamin B complex. So these are each 100 milligram capsules, and I'm going to open these up and sprinkle these in also. The recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons of light salt for the iodine content, but I use kelp instead, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of kelp. This is what it looks like. It's like a green powder. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm going to add 4 of these. So kelp contains iodine. It also contains some calcium, phosphorus, salt, and potassium. The recipe also calls for 200 IU of vitamin E, and it says to use a powdered form of vitamin E. I have not found a powdered form around here. I know you could buy it online. I haven't done that yet. Other people use this liquid vitamin E, and this is what I've been using. 1/4 teaspoon of this is about 400 IU, so I'm probably going to put in about 1/8 of a teaspoon. The next thing I need to do is put my gloves on and get my hands dirty mixing this all up. You obviously can use a spoon or whatever you would like to use to mix it. I just find it's the most efficient to use my hands. So this is the basic homemade cat food. Let's talk about how much this cost to make. So I got 10 pounds of chicken thighs for $1.29 a pound. That was $12.90. I got the liver and hearts for $2.49 a pound. We only used 22 ounces, so we ended up using $3.49 worth of the organ meats. For the eggs, I got my eggs for about $2.99 a dozen. We used 4 egg yolks, so that would have been about 75 cents. I used 26 cents worth of taurine, 50 cents worth of fish oil, 48 cents worth of vitamin B capsules, 15 cents worth of vitamin E liquid, and 20 cents worth of kelp. So I used a total of $2.34 worth of supplements. When we add together the cost of the chicken, the organ meats, and the supplements, the total is $18.73. So if we divide that by 10, because we made approximately 10 pounds of food, that means it cost us $1.87 a pound. And Friskies is currently selling for $2.33 a pound. So we've just saved 46 cents a pound, and that's $4.60 for 10 pounds of food. And we know exactly what's in the food, and all of the ingredients are much higher quality than what's in a can of typical supermarket brand canned cat food. So although this is the recipe for basic homemade raw cat food, when I make it for my cats, I do like to add some extra ingredients to boost the nutrition and to provide a little bit of extra fiber for their digestion. This is a product that I like to add. It's called Amazing Grass Amazing Trio. This is barley grass, wheatgrass, and alfalfa. The reason why I like to use this is because the cats love eating cat grass. And when they were living outside, they loved eating grass outside. If you observe feral cats living in nature, they love to eat grass, especially if they're not feeling well. And this is a powdered grass supplement. It also has good nutrients for them. It has some vitamin A, some vitamin C, vitamin K, calcium, iron, sodium, and potassium. So while cats are obligate carnivores and they do require animal protein as the main part of their diet, when living in nature, they do get 5%, maybe even 10% of their diet from plant matter. When they eat their prey, they eat the entire contents of the digestive tract, which often contains pre-digested or semi-digested plant material. And they also do chew on plants. That's why a lot of inside cats love to chew on houseplants, because they have an innate desire to eat greens. It's really important to provide your cat with fresh cat grass. It keeps them away from your houseplants, for example. When I was growing up, we had a cat that loved eating lettuce. So this is why I really like to supplement the food that I make with powdered grass. So in this case, I'm going to be using 1 scoop, and the cost of this scoop would be 90 cents. Obviously, if you could get the supplements on sale or cheaper, if you have a coupon, then it brings the cost even lower. So by adding the greens, it brings the total up to $19.63, which is $1.96 a pound. That's still cheaper than Friskies being sold at $2.33 a pound. I also like to add 1 or 2 cups of some kind of vegetables. Sometimes I'll use some canned pureed pumpkin. Other times I'll steam some vegetables and puree them myself. Sometimes I'll very, very finely grind some vegetables. I've done that with zucchini in the past. The cats like that. I've done it with butternut squash. The cats like that. Today I have some carrots. And I also have some zucchini, and I've steamed these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to puree these in a little food processor, and then I'm going to put the pureed vegetables into the cat food. Some people will tell you that you don't need to add any vegetable matter to your cat food because cats are obligate carnivores. Other people say it is good for them because it is good for them to get the additional fiber in their digestive tract, any kind of phytonutrients that might be in the vegetable matter. Basically, opinions are very mixed. Almost everyone you talk to gives you a different opinion. If you read books about homemade cat food that were published through the years, basically the recipes are always changing because every year we're learning new and more things about cats, their bodies, and how they work. So for me, I choose to add these extras. By all means, they are not part of the basic recipe. You don't have to add them. Here are the pureed veggies, and I'll be adding these also. Notice how the amount of vegetables I'm using is a very small percentage compared to the amount of meat that is being used. Cats are obligate carnivores, and they should be on a meat-based diet. Here's all the food with everything mixed in. So adding the extra vegetables cost me another 78 cents. So it brings my grand total to $20.41. That is $2.04 a pound. Still cheaper than $2.33 a pound. So if I wanted to continue adding extra supplements, which I sometimes do, I still have room in that budget for it to be cheaper than Friskies or any of the supermarket brand canned cat foods. So all of this food now has to be frozen. There are several ways you can freeze it. Some people like to freeze this in ice cube trays and then just take out the frozen cubes as needed. I used to take a cookie sheet and put parchment paper on it and then use a cookie scoop to scoop this out into about 1 ounce scoops. Then I would freeze the scoops on the cookie sheets. Once they were frozen, I would then take them and put them in a Ziploc bag and keep them in my freezer. So I would then portion out about 1 scoop per cat, sometimes 1.5 scoops per cat. I should also mention I did not mix any water into this food, but I do mix water into this food when I serve it to the cats. And if you look at any canned cat food that is being sold, you will always see water as one of the first ingredients. It's usually like the second ingredient. Sometimes it's the first ingredient. Sometimes it's the third ingredient. It's usually up there near the top of the ingredients. And the reason why is because they need water for processing, or they just need water in the food in general. I did not add any water to this, but I do add water to it before I serve it. It's just much easier to freeze without the water, and it's more condensed right now, so that makes it easier to freeze also. My newest method for freezing homemade raw cat food is by using these paper ice cream containers. This is basically a 1 pint ice cream container. I purchased a case of these online. I think it was like $50 for a case of, I don't know if it was like 100 or 200, but I have a lot of them. And what I'll do is I'll just scoop out the homemade food and I'll fill this up, and then I'll label it with the date that it was made, and then it will go into my freezer. And it has been the best method so far because it's really easy just to fill this up, and I could fit a lot more in my freezers because I'm not freezing them on trays, for example. And then all I have to do is defrost this and it will stay good in my refrigerator for up to 48 hours. So that's no problem when I'm feeding 4 inside cats. We go through about 8 ounces a day. So this lasts up to 2 days. And that has been how I've been freezing this. But again, you can freeze this any way that works for you. So here are all the containers I just filled. 9 of them are completely full, and then this last one has 5.7 ounces in it. And as you can see, each one has a little bit more than a pound. So this is like 1 pound, 0.7 ounces, 1 pound, 1.6 ounces, 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. And when I add everything together, it comes out to 10 pounds, 1.6 ounces. So it's almost exactly 10 pounds of food, which means all of our calculations are correct with regards to dividing the total by 10 to come out to the cost per pound. So I have 10 pounds of homemade raw cat food, and it cost me $20.41, and that's with adding extras to it. So it is definitely cheaper to make homemade raw cat food. The only thing that it takes more of is time. You definitely need at least an hour, maybe even 2 hours of time to make a big batch of food like this. But because you control all of the ingredients and you know what's in the food and exactly what you're feeding the cat, that can definitely be worth it in the long run also. Of course, this recipe can also be modified. You don't always have to use chicken. Sometimes I'll use turkey. Sometimes I'll use like Cornish game hens. There's some stores around here that sell quail. Sometimes I'll use quail. I've used rabbit before. You could use any kind of meat that is suitable for a cat to eat. You just have to make some adjustments to the recipe based on the quantity of bone in the foods that you're using. But if you do a search on the internet, you can usually find some information about that as to what those percentages are. And another thing that I like to do for my cats is to give them a little bit more variety than just eating this homemade raw food all the time. Sometimes I will buy them some commercial raw food. For snacks, they get some dry food and some canned food. So I do like to give them a bit of a variety to make sure that they're getting all of the vitamins and the minerals that they need. I just wanted to share this recipe with you because with the rising costs of cat food, it is just really crazy. And I'm looking at these prices and I'm thinking it's not worth it when I can make my own. And we're basing this comparison on some of the cheapest cat food on the market. If we base this comparison on some of the more expensive cat food on the market, you can definitely see where there is a much greater savings. With these prices, it's a really good time for more people to start learning how to make their own homemade cat food. This is my cat food freezer. You can see how these containers fit perfectly. The ones on the top are the ones we just made. And then I also have 8-ounce containers, and those I've been using also.
You want to squeeze up? Here. You want to squeeze up? Here's a squeeze up. Come here.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's about 8:30 p.m. and here's Marty next to her shelter. The weather has cooled off, so it's actually nice and cool right now. It's the first time that it's been cool in days. So Marty's hanging out. Marty has been getting flea combed every day. So Grandpa Farrell combed her for fleas a little while ago. How you doing, Marty? Isn't she pretty? Marty, you're a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. So Marty ate a squeeze up out of my hand. Grandma Farrell was like, just squeeze it onto a plate and let her eat it. I was like, no, she'll eat it out of my hand. And she ate it right from the squeeze up in my hand. And then she had a few treats. And then she ate some food. And right now she's just hanging out outside. Sophia came by a little while ago and had some food on the other side of the house. Marty likes to hang out in the back on the deck. And this is what the sky looks like tonight. Red sky at night. Sailor's delight. So tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. It looks really cool. It's actually kind of pink and orange and blue and all different colors.
Hello everyone, Grandma here.
Grandpa too.
Today we're opening some mail from Janet Stemper. Okay, let's open it, Grandpa, and see what it is. Oh, look at this. Oh, how cute. Aprons. Oh, what a surprise. Now, let me see if I can open it. There must be a way we can, oh, here it is. You can pull this open at the bottom. Oh, isn't this cute? We got nice new aprons. And look at all the cute cats on them. Thank you so much, Janet. This is adorable. It has 4 cats like our grand cats, Grandpa. The black cat looks like Boo. Then the brown looks like Simba. The green looks like Stella. And the blue is Splash.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet, for thinking of us all the time.
I'm going to wear this when I bake and when I do my grilling in the summer.
Oh.
Look, it has a pocket too.
Oh, that's nice. Because many aprons we have, they don't even have a pocket. That's really nice. See how cute? We're going to be twins, Grandpa and I.
Thank you, Janet.
Don't these look nice?
I just called the vet's office and I made an appointment and I'm going to take Simba in to get him checked out.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
Here's Stella. She's laying on the placemats. So the cats refused to use these placemats. They said they did not like eating facing a wall. And it worked for like a few days, but then they just decided they were having none of it. They said, we had enough. This is not how we like to eat. We're going to go back eating as a random group where we're kind of facing each other and we're not facing a wall. So Stella likes to lay on these right now. I still have to pick them up and clean them up. Here's Simba. So last night I wanted to go to bed early and I probably didn't get to bed until around 11:30. It was a little bit later than I wanted. The reason why was because the day before I got in really, really late and then I ended up getting up early. So I only had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, which for me is not really enough. I was so tired all day yesterday. So I figured I'll go to bed early, I'll get a really good night's sleep, and then I'll feel really good today. 5:30 in the morning, I heard a cat starting to vomit. I don't know how it woke me up. I must have been just sleeping really lightly because I was shocked that I was able to hear it. So I immediately sprang out of bed to see who it was. I ran down the hall and I found that it was Simba. And it looked like he ate the freeze-dried bites out of Boo's feeder in Boo's room. And then he pretty much immediately vomited them up. There was like no liquid in the vomit. Thankfully, it was very easy to clean up. It was like he ate the food and then he just vomited on the rug. So it wasn't too bad, but it completely shocked me awake and there was no way I was going to be able to fall back asleep. So I cleaned it up and then I started looking through my cat books, all my cat health books, with regards to cats vomiting because Simba has been vomiting quite a bit lately. It's definitely related to the food he's been eating because he always does it within an hour or within 2 hours of eating, usually within an hour of eating. And it was only when he was eating the Primal raw frozen cat food for breakfast. He would vomit that up and he would be fine the rest of the day. So I stopped giving him the Primal raw frozen cat food for breakfast and he stopped vomiting. And then I gave the cats the Nature's Variety Instinct Raw Bites, which they usually love. But Simba ate that and vomited. And as you can see, he's acting completely normal. He's not hiding. He's not fatigued. He's just going about his normal day, climbing cat towers, getting lots of pets, getting brushed, running around the house with the other cats, watching birds. So I have him under observation, and today I gave him a few drops of CBD oil as an appetizer on some dried sardines because I'm thinking it could be like anxiety related. It could be he's eating too fast. I thought it was because he was eating too much, but then I cut his portions in half and he was still vomiting those Primal raw bites. So it could be a lot of different things. I might call the vet today and make an appointment for him to be checked out. Or I might just wait a few more days and see if the CBD oil helps to relax him, because if it's an anxiety thing, then the CBD oil can relax him and then it won't happen. Also, the books that I have said to give him some of the bentonite clay that I used to put in the homemade raw food that I made for the cats, but I haven't put it in recently. So I just mix some into the food that I'm going to give them for breakfast today. We'll see if that helps. And a few of the books said to give the cat slippery elm in their food. And slippery elm is an herb you can buy. I've actually taken it myself many years ago. It helps settle the stomach, and it helps to pull toxins out of the intestines. So if there's some kind of toxic issue going on in the digestive tract, it helps to absorb those and pass those through. So I might take a ride up to the store and buy some of that today. But here's Simba, and the cats are going to eat breakfast. The cats are eating their breakfast. Splash is the first one done because he eats all of his food. Looks like Simba was just licking the little bit of a churro off the top of it. Simba has a lot of black fur on his back. Like, his paws are all black and he has black arms. I never realized how much black he has on his back compared to Stella. See how much more? He has like a stripe of black. So Simba just went over to Stella's food to steal her dried sardine. I put a dried sardine on everyone's meal today, because Simba usually won't eat unless there's a few dried sardines on his food. It's about 12:30 p.m. I just looked out the back door and saw this. Look at this squirrel. It's laying down and having a picnic. It's so happy and so comfortable. It was literally laying down while it was eating. Hey, look at this. That's a happy squirrel. It's 2 p.m. Stella's sunbathing by the back door. The cats haven't done this in a while because it's been so hot. But I guess she's in the mood to watch some birds and squirrels. Here's Splash. He was hanging out under the bed before. I don't know what spooked him or if he was just trying to stay cool. And here's Simba. How you doing, Simba? Simba had some of the freeze-dried chicken treats a little while ago. And so far, he does not have an upset stomach from those. And we had some playtime with the Hot Wheels tracks, right, Simba? And then he found a pom-pom that was driving him crazy. So he had to chase it around the house for a while, right? And now he's relaxing. And I just called the vet's office and I made an appointment for next week. And I'm going to take Simba in to get him checked out. So the earliest they could give me an appointment was 4 days from now, which is pretty good because usually I have to wait 1 to 2 weeks. But that didn't work for my schedule, so I have an appointment 5 days from now, which hopefully should be fine. They told me for upset stomachs to keep him on a bland diet of cooked chicken and rice, and I was like, yeah, he's not going to eat that. He's on some homemade raw food and he's doing well on that, and I'm just keeping him under observation. So in 5 days we'll go and just, take him in for a checkup. That doesn't hurt. The last time he went to a vet was back in February, so it's now July. So that was 5 months ago. And I took him to the animal hospital, and that's when all the cats had vomiting and diarrhea at the same time, and that was traced back to a bag of dry cat food. And this time it seems to be food related, because anytime he eats any kind of commercially prepared raw food, he's vomiting from it. So we'll see if that's it. I am wondering if it is anxiety related. I'm going to continue to give him a few drops of CBD oil before he eats to see if that helps. Just keep him calm and relaxed, and maybe that would help his stomach. One thing I did notice earlier, so after he ate, I was sitting on the bed, I was looking at my iPad, and I was just relaxing for like 5 minutes, and Simba was laying on the bed. He was laying across the edge of the bed, and he made like the biggest burp. Like, it wasn't a burp sound, but it was like a burp, and I was like, whoa, that was like a big burp. And then he like settled down. So I'm wondering if maybe he's just dealing with gas, or there was that time that Stella woke me up because she burped so loud, and then she vomited on the curtains and the wall, and that was horrible. So that's why I'm wondering if maybe with Simba it's like gas or indigestion or something. But I have an appointment at the vet in 5 days, and we'll just take him in to see. I'm outside with Stella. So I went downstairs and she was hanging out in this carrier. So I said, let me close it up and take her outside and see if she wants to go for a little excursion. So I just put her in the shade. It's super hot out right now. We're only going to be out here for a few minutes. I'd put her in the car and drive around the block, but the car is so hot right now. How you doing, Stella? I've never actually used this carrier to take the cats anywhere because I don't really trust it because of this mesh. The cats all have claws that I think can tear through that fairly easily, so I'm watching her very carefully right now. She's not very happy. You want to go back inside, Stella? You want to go inside? You're happy out here? You want to go inside? She's getting a really nice breeze right now. It feels good, Stella. We got a nice breeze, fresh air. I have this pet care stroller. I just put it together today, and I've had it for a few years. It's been in the box, and I bought it because the carrier part that she's in actually detaches, so I thought it would be better than the last stroller that I had. It's much bigger than the last stroller that I had, so that is probably going to be an issue. I got to figure out where I'm going to put it and stuff like that. So I just brought Stella outside in it, and I figure we'll take a little walk around the yard and see how she likes it. Stella is so not happy to be outside. Like, she is so not happy. So one thing that I noticed about this stroller is right here on the mesh is broken. Like, it's not a big hole, just it's a little bit torn in places, which makes me think that this mesh is not very strong at all, because this would have just broken, you know, in the box, just how it was folded up in there. So I don't know, maybe I'll put a piece of masking tape on there or something. Not that a cat's gonna get out in that little hole, but I don't know, it just makes me not really trust this. Of course, this is Stella's first time using this, so it is going to be something new and different for her. She seems to be kind of settling down right now. And it is quite hot out, so I'm going to take her back inside. I just wanted to see how she likes it. You want to go back inside, Stella? Stella just came inside, and this is the trampoline that Simba loves to lay on top of. He thinks it's like a giant cat bed. It has a rug on top of it. And I just sprayed it with the pet remedy. And they are both very interested in it now. Simba's licking it. Stella's getting territorial. He's like, this is mine. I should order some more of this. Hey, be nice. Be nice. Be nice. We are nice cats, remember that. Right, Stella? Poor Simba. I also put 2 sprays inside of this carrier because Stella might be afraid to use it since I took her outside in it. But I figure maybe she'll like to use it again. Since Stella is being territorial on the trampoline, I put Simba near the carrier. He went right in and he's licking it. he's licking the bottom of the carrier. Stella's been rolling around in it. I think they like this better than catnip, because the cats don't even act like this with catnip. So this has valerian essential oil in it. Valerian is a very relaxing essential oil. It's also used for some people to help them sleep. I personally don't like using it for sleep because when I've tried that in the past, I've had the worst nightmares of my life, so I don't like using it for that. But as far as aromatherapy or relaxation that way, it definitely helps with the cats. It has a very earthy aroma that does take some getting used to. And there's Simba. He's still in the carrier, still licking it. Now he's licking his paws. It's 5:45 p.m. and here's Stella. She's watching some squirrels eat what's left of the squirrel food. I'm just about to go downstairs and see what Simba's up to. The cats ate dinner at 5 p.m. and everyone ate their food. So I just want to make sure that Simba is comfortable and he does not have an upset tummy. Look at what's going on here. Simba's on top of the cat tower and Splash is in the window next to him. Simba looks tired. Simba, you want to take a nap? Are you annoyed that Splash is next to you? He also looks a little bit annoyed. I wonder if they were getting into a bit of a fight. You feeling okay, Simba? How you feeling, Simba? You feeling okay? You feeling okay? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. It is 8 a.m. and here's Simba. He's been looking out of the cat tower this morning and now he's relaxing on the bed. So yesterday I started spraying this bed and then the rug and then the play rug in the living room with Pet Remedy spray. I ordered some more of it on Amazon because I only had a very, very little bit of it left. Because today, Simba and I are gonna have an adventure, right, Simba? We're gonna take a ride and we're gonna see his friends, and his friends are gonna take a look at him and examine him, and he's going for a checkup. In the past, I called it the Kitty Cat Club because the vet that the cats used to go to was only for cats. But the vet that they go to now is not only for cats. He does all kinds of different animals. So I don't refer to it as the kitty cat club anymore. I just refer to him as our friend, right, Simba? We're going to visit some friends. They like you, Simba. You've been there before. And they're going to check you out. They're going to examine you. They're going to see if you have any issues that are causing your vomiting. So he did not vomit yesterday, which is good. The last time he vomited was the day before yesterday, very early in the morning. So it's just like every few days, that's how it's been. And we'll see what's going on. You okay, Simba? You know we're going to have an adventure today, right? It's going to be pretty hot, too. I'm going to put the air conditioning on in the car. Okay? You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And then you'll come home and you'll get some treats. So Simba's been eating crunchies, okay? He has not been throwing up crunchies. Last night, the cats had some steamed salmon. Simba really enjoyed the steamed salmon, right, Simba? Because I made some steamed salmon for dinner, and I saved some for the cats, right? You guys probably each had an ounce. They probably had like an ounce each of shredded steamed salmon. It came out so nice. I never add any kind of seasonings to it if I know I'm going to give some to the cats. I just make it plain. And it was delicious, right, Simba? Simba says that's his favorite way of eating the salmon, freshly steamed. And I have to say it came out really nice. I do like steamed salmon better than baked salmon. So he ate that without any problems also, right, Simba? And he had dried sardines yesterday, and right now he says he's going to relax. Good morning, Boo. How are you today? How you doing, Boo? Did you sleep well, Boo? Did you sleep good? It's about 9:15 a.m. right now, and here is the carrier that Simba will be traveling in today. I put his name on top, and I put a training pad inside, and I sprayed it with some of this pet remedy spray. This is the spray that I use in the carriers, and the cats usually like it. It has a very earthy smell. That's the best way that I could describe it right now. There is valerian essential oil in it, which does help to relax the cats. So I sprayed the pad 2 or 3 times, not a lot. And I'm just going to leave this carrier here with the door open. Hopefully the door will stay open so the cats can go inside if they want to. It looks like the door is not going to stay open. So I'm going to leave this carrier like this for the cats. I'm going to leave the door open. They're free to explore it if they want to. Stella's here right now. Stella really likes this pet remedy spray, so she might actually go in and check it out. So we're not leaving until this afternoon, so that gives us plenty of time. And the cats just finished their breakfast a little while ago. Before that, they had some playtime with a laser pointer. And this morning, the landscaper showed up, so all the cats were a little stressed out and on edge. It was not really the best day for the landscapers to show up, but they haven't been here in quite a while, so I was happy. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, worst day to stress the cats out because I'm trying to keep them as calm and happy as possible. So chances are good Stella's going to go inside and relax for a while. We'll see what happens. I just walked in the room and there are 3 curious cats here. And they all jumped back from around the carrier and they all looked guilty. Simba, you looking forward to your adventure today? You looking forward to your ride in the carrier? You get to ride in it. Simba's special. He gets to ride in the carrier today, right, Simba? Yeah. I just walked in the room again, and this time it was Stella looking all guilty, walking away from the carrier when I walked in the room. Stella, I saw that. They forget that I have a security camera in this room to watch them when I'm not here. I could always check the security camera, Stella. Here's Simba. He's relaxing by an open window. So whenever the cats have an appointment, I put an itinerary together. What time their appointment is, what time we have to leave the house, what time we have to start getting ready to leave, what time I have to start getting the cats ready, like all that stuff. So there's a plan in motion for later today. Hello, Simba. So here's Simba. He's laying on the bed right now, and I've been laying on the bed with him. And we had a very eventful week this past week. It was definitely not the best week. So Simba had a vet appointment this week because he's been having some digestion issues. And I just wanted to have him checked out to make sure it wasn't anything too serious. And he had a complete checkup. Here's Boo. Boo wants to say hello. And he was very healthy during the checkup. Everything checked out good. And the vet gave us some digestive supplements for Simba and the cats. And they've all been taking the supplements with their food, and everything has been fine. And so far, there have not been any more digestive issues for Simba, so that's really good. Unfortunately, this past week, I also had to go to urgent care because I injured my shoulder. And there's Stella. Look at this, 3 cats right now. I guess she was under the bed. So we're all relaxing today because I really can't even move my arm. I am in such severe pain. I had to have x-rays, and it's not dislocated. I do have tendinitis in it and calcium crystals in my shoulder. And so right now I'm trying to rest it because the pain is really bad. And I have extremely limited movement in that arm. Like I can't even, I can barely move the arm in any direction. It's a little bit better today than it was yesterday. So I'm hopeful. I started on some new supplements today. They wanted to prescribe me all kinds of painkillers and pharmaceuticals, but I told them I'd prefer to manage it with natural methods. So that's what I've been doing. And they were super nice when I went there. The doctor was super nice. And she's like, if you need anything, give them a call. And they'll be happy to, provide me with anything that I need. They did give me a painkiller shot when I was there, and the painkiller shot was amazing. It lasted about 10 hours. She told me it would last about 6 hours, but it ended up lasting about 10 hours. So it gave me time that day to at least go out and get some errands done and try to catch up on some things that I was getting behind on, because I knew once the painkiller wore off, then I would be back to my kind of slower speed. I feel like I'm doing everything in slow motion. Well, because I am doing everything in slow motion, because it's really the only way I can move that arm, and I'm just trying to compensate with my other arm. Obviously, it makes it really difficult to work on videos. I was hoping to be able to catch up with editing and posting videos this past week and this weekend, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to really get anything done. Today's the first day where I'm really feeling like I'm having a little bit of energy back, and like I'm actually wanting to do some things, because the past few days just have been so painful. And I also had a fever, like a low fever. That's also one of the symptoms of the condition that I have in my shoulder right now. So, obviously when you have a fever, you just really don't feel like doing anything. But today was an improvement. I'm hoping tomorrow will be an improvement, and we'll continue improving from here. So I just wanted to film a quick update and let you know what's going on. yeah, there's so many videos that I filmed that I would like to be posting, but I just have really not been able to. I've been just trying to sleep more, make sure I can do everything that I can to heal this shoulder as quickly as possible, because I really am not enjoying the pain, and I'm really not enjoying the lack of mobility. And yeah, it's not a fun experience. So that is my update and Simba's update. And Boo's been fine. He's been keeping an eye on all the cats that walk in and out of the yard, and he's doing well. And here's Stella. Stella's been doing very good also. She was very concerned about Simba when Simba went to the vet. But once Simba came home, then Stella was very happy. Right, Simba? And here's Boo. Boo says he wants to be on camera, so he's going to move over here. Hey, Boo, you're very handsome today. You look very handsome today, Boo. What are you doing? Simba, Splash.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
What are you guys doing? Simba, Splash. I just walked in and saw this. I'm like, what the heck is going on in here? It's about 10:30 p.m. right now. Hello? 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 Simba? Splash? You guys are weird. It's almost 8 p.m. I was just outside on the patio, kind of closing everything down for the night, closing the greenhouse, filling up the water bowl on the side of the house with water, putting my car in the garage, and I was going to harvest one of my gagutsa squashes that I have growing on my fence, and all of a sudden I saw this cat. It looked like it was laying in one of the bushes, and it did not run away.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It just kind of almost ran away, and then it just stopped and stared at me. And then I was like, hey, what's going on? I was talking to it a little bit, and it was just staring at me. So that's when I came inside and decided to get a camera. And this is how far I got. So I'm looking out the back door right now, and the cat is drinking some water. That's not fresh water in there. I think I filled that up yesterday, but it is fairly clean. It's not as dirty as it usually is when the raccoons get to it. So yesterday, when I was walking outside, I forget what I was doing exactly, but I saw what looked like a black cat go running out of the bushes next to my driveway. And where I saw it running from is where I saw this cat coming from today. So I'm wondering if this cat has been hanging out in my yard in the afternoon. This cat kind of looks like Simba. And this tabby I've not seen before. This is not the brown tabby. This is not the tabby with the white paws. This is not the blotchy one. I have not seen this one before. So I don't want to disturb it while it's drinking, because it's, it's still very hot weather. So I'm glad that it's drinking. we'll see what happens when I go outside. If I go outside and it doesn't run away, then things are going to get interesting. I don't know if this cat is part of the feral family from the woods, just because it seems too friendly without knowing me. Because even if we look back at, you know, Stella, Boo, Hydrox, Ditto, any of the other cats, they all run away at first. Even Hydrox, who used to hang out in my yard all the time, if I came out and, you know, was moving around too much, she would run away. She was never comfortable with me being in the yard at the same time as she was. Over time, that all changed. Even with Stella and Boo, it took, you know, several months of interaction for them to get comfortable. So if I go outside and then this cat is comfortable with me, it would make me think that it's not from the feral tribe. So we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna let it keep drinking. So it stopped drinking and it's just looking at me. I think Boo's in his window also watching this cat. I don't know if this is in focus or not. So there's the cat. Look, this is what I'm telling you. This cat looks like it's getting comfortable. I'm gonna go outside and let's see what happens. See how it didn't run? I didn't go outside, I just opened the door a little bit, but it's like looking at me. It's like looking at me like it wants, look at this, look. 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 I'm sorry if this is not in focus. I'm super zoomed in. Look at this, guys. I'm outside. I'm outside and the cat is just hanging out. Hello? 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 You hungry? Are you hungry? You okay? You okay? How are you? What's your name? What's your name? You look like Simba. Do you know Simba? Do you know who Simba is? You look a lot like Simba. How are you? It's looking, it's like walking away, but it's still looking. How are you? I came back inside and look what's happening. For some reason I can't zoom in because it gets blurry. But look, I came back inside and look at what's going on. The cat's laying down on the patio. It's like waiting for me. I went downstairs and I grabbed some dry food and I have it on a paper plate. Let's see what happens if I go outside with this. So the cat ran off, but I don't think it ran far. I think it's just around the corner here. See it? See it hanging out? Here's the plate of food. I just put some food down on the patio. And there's the cat. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna back up. So this cat does not look like it's starving. The tabby from yesterday looked more hungry than this cat. I don't know if this cat belongs to somebody. I'm wondering if it's a stray, just because it seems just the behavior is just very, very different from the local feral behavior. I just went inside to answer the phone and it came back out and the cat's still eating. I only gave it some dry food. This cat is probably getting fed by the neighbors down the block. Notice how it's not gobbling up its food like crazy. The cats inside the house eat their crunchies faster than this cat does. Unless this cat has some kind of mouth issue. Oh my gosh. Do you see what's going on? It's rubbing against the table. Do you see this? Look at this. The tail almost went up in the air. Where's it gonna go? Is it gonna walk through the yard and leave? What's it gonna do? Look at this. I hope it's not gonna spray. Is it spraying? What are you doing? Where are you going? There's another water bowl on the side of the house. Okay, now that it moved, I'm gonna go harvest my squash. Here's Boo. He wants to know what's going on outside. This is my beautiful cucuzza squash. It's 7 a.m. and Boo has been running around the house, going from window to window because there's a black cat in the yard.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
So he's kind of in freak out mode right now. I don't know where the cat went because I saw it behind the table and chairs, and then I went to get the camera and it came back and I don't know where it is. Here's Boo. Oh look, there's a tabby. A very skinny tabby. There's Boo. And here's Simba. Simba's been trying to butter me up for something all morning. I tried giving him like a churro. He didn't want to eat it. How you doing, Simba? Hey, Simba. So for the past few days, I have been dealing with extreme pain in my shoulder. I had to go to emergency care the other day and have it looked at, and they ended up doing an x-ray, and they found out that I have some calcium crystals in my shoulder, which are causing extreme pain. You're okay, guys. You're okay. Listen, be nice to each other. So Simba hit Boo, and then Boo's like, how dare you hit me? So Simba started that one. He shouldn't have hit Boo at all. Boo would have shared the window with him. But if someone hits Boo, of course Boo's going to hit back. This is how Boo spends the majority of his night, because I haven't been sleeping well, and every time I get up during the middle of the night, I'll look at what the cats are doing, and this is always like what Boo's doing. He's stationed at his job. looking out the window to see what's going on in the yard. So anyway, what I was saying is that I've been dealing with this extreme shoulder pain, and it's not just pain because I really can't even use that arm. I have a very severely limited range of motion in the arm because of the amount of pain that I'm in. I'm in pain when I move the arm, and I'm in pain when the arm is not in use also. So it's just a situation where I'm trying to find some kind of protocol or remedy for it, because the only thing that urgent care told me was to take some painkillers and some anti-inflammatories. They wanted to give me a bunch of prescriptions for painkillers and stuff, and I was like, I'm probably not going to take them because I prefer to go the natural route. So that's what I've been doing. Yesterday was my first day starting like an herbal protocol, and then I did more research overnight, and I'm up early today because I want to get to the stores before they get crowded, and also I'm in the least amount of pain in the morning, and it gets worse as the day goes on. So I'm going to go buy some more natural supplements, which supposedly are supposed to work, and hopefully within a week I'll see a very big difference from what I'm dealing with now, because there's also a lot of stiffness in the shoulder. It's like just very stiff and limited range of movement and all kinds of pain. It goes from severe pain if I try to move the arm in certain positions, like stabbing pain, to just like throbbing toothache pain. Like at night, if I'm trying to sleep, it's just like throbbing toothache pain in your shoulder. I have to use heating pads, ice packs. I've been using topicals, but it's probably some of the worst pain I've ever dealt with in my life. So I have not been filming much over the past few days. I haven't been doing much because it's just taking all my energy, and I really can't even sit at a desk and work on a computer because it's hard for me to even lift my arm enough to put the arm on top of a desk and reach to a laptop. I mean, that's how limited my range of motion is. So I've been, basically just trying to get through my days, and so that's where all that stands. I know I'm so far behind with posting videos, and I need to catch up with a lot of stuff. So maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll figure out, maybe if I use a lap desk laying in bed or something, I'll be able to edit and use a computer. We'll see how today goes. I'm here with the cats, and today the cats are trying Primal freeze-dried raw toppers.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
So I have 3 bags of these Primal freeze-dried raw toppers. On the left here I have the chicken recipe, and in the middle we have the turkey recipe, and here on the right we have the fish recipe. And you can see Simba's getting ready because he really wants to try the fish recipe. So I've never seen these before. I was in a local pet supply store the other day and I saw these for the first time. Hello, Boo. Boo wants to say hello to everyone. There's Stella. She's eagerly waiting. Simba's purring. I don't know if you could hear him. So I saw these for the first time in a local pet supply store, and they looked really interesting. I was actually there looking for freeze-dried treats for the cats, and when I was walking from the treat section back to the register, I saw these. They were on a display in the middle of an aisle, and they were actually near the dog food. And when I looked at these, I was like, okay, well, these should be good for cats too. And then on the bottom, it actually says a whole food meal topper for dogs and cats. It says for supplemental feeding, and that's a very nice size font. You can easily read that. which I think is very responsible for them, because some people get confused between what is a supplemental food and what is a complete food. So a supplemental food means that it should be fed as a snack or as a topper, but not every day as a complete meal, because it doesn't offer 100% complete nutrition according to the AAFCO. I believe that's the organization. So these freeze-dried raw toppers are very similar to the Nature's Variety Instinct raw toppers. It says, 1, start with any balanced base. Freeze-dried raw toppers work great to enhance any kibble, canned, freeze-dried, or raw diet. So if you feed your cat canned food or dry food, these are a nice topper for that. And these are a really nice way to introduce raw food to a cat or a dog. It says number 2, add 1/3 cup freeze-dried raw toppers per cup of balanced base. 3, serve. Pro tip, add goat milk, warm water, or bone broth for added moisture. With regards to cats, I would definitely skip the goat milk. Warm water or bone broth would be preferred. And if we take a look at the ingredients, they are chicken, chicken liver, organic sweet potato, organic kale, organic rosemary, organic cranberry, organic turmeric, organic ginger, liquid lactobacillus acidophilus fermentation product, which is probiotics, liquid lactobacillus casei fermentation product, liquid lactobacillus reuteri fermentation product, liquid bifidobacterium animalis fermentation product. So there's a few different kinds of probiotics here. And the first 2 ingredients are chicken and chicken liver. And then on the bag it says freeze-dried raw toppers are intended for intermittent or supplemental feeding only. This is not a complete diet. If your pet prefers more than our recommended amount of freeze-dried raw toppers, try feeding Primal Pronto exclusively as a full-time, complete, and balanced diet. Check out our bowl builder tool for more meal planning ideas at primalpetfoods.com/build. So I really like how responsible they are with more information here, specifically saying that these are intended for intermittent or supplemental feeding only. And the calories are 117 calories per ounce. So these are the chicken toppers, and these are the turkey toppers, and the first 2 ingredients are turkey and turkey liver. Other than that, everything else is the same. And this is the fish recipe, and the first ingredients are sardines, anchovies, and pollock. And then after that, everything is the same. I believe they had 1 or 2 other flavors. There was a pork recipe, which I don't get for the cats, because in the past, anytime the cats have tried anything with pork in it, Splash has vomited. And also the beef recipe, I don't get that for the cats. Usually Simba has issues with beef and he ends up vomiting. Also, I feel that when cats are living in nature, they're not eating pork and they're not eating beef. They're not hunting those animals. They are eating birds, and sometimes they might be eating fish. We do know that Simba likes to fish for dried sardines. I've never actually given the cats a live fish to fish for, but when I first let them inside, when they first became inside cats, I did have a goldfish tank, and they did enjoy watching that goldfish. Like, I had to take extra precautions that they could not get into that goldfish tank. So I think Simba specifically would be happy fishing if I let him. So what I want to do with these toppers is let the cats taste them and then figure out who likes what flavor, because it's pretty rare that all 4 cats will like the same flavor. And I'm going to write down on each bag which cat likes what. That way, if I want to sprinkle some of these on top of their meal, I can do that. And if I want to give them some of these as a snack, then I could do that, and I'll remember who likes what. All right, the cats have their little crunchy plates, which are basically mini coffee filters today. Stella likes to sit on hers. Simba's waiting by his. I'm waiting for Splash to get here. We're going to start with chicken, guys. Okay, we're going to start with the chicken recipe. Boo. Here comes Splash. Come on, Splash. Okay, you're all going to try one. Ready? Come on. Over here, Boo. Boo. Stella, over here. There goes Splash. Okay. Splash, Stella, Simba, and Boo. Sounds like Boo's eating his. It's very strange that Simba would not eat it. Okay, so Simba's not eating it, Stella's not eating it, and Splash is not eating it. Is Splash gonna eat it? No one's eating it? Okay, Boo ate it. Okay, so for the chicken, only Boo likes it. Wanna eat this one? You could finish everybody's. Wait, what, this one? Okay, let's see if he'll eat them. Sometimes Boo will eat something to try it, but then he doesn't really like it. So if I give him the other ones, let's see what he'll do. Here, you got 2 more in there. Eat that. You don't like them? No? You don't want them, Boo? You could eat them. Here, there's 2 in here. Alright, so maybe Boo does not like them after all. Next, we're going to try the turkey. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. Boo. Boo. Simba. Simba. Stella. Splash. Eat them. Simba ate the turkey. Boo! Simba ate Stella's turkey. Boo walked away. Splash, you gonna eat it? Is Stella gonna eat it? I gave her Boo's. And I gave Splash his. Alright, so it looks like Simba's the only one that likes the turkey. Maybe Splash is gonna eat it. Is he gonna eat it? Alright, Simba, you eat it. Now we are going to try the fish recipe. I hope all the cats like this one. Boo! Here we go. Ready, guys? Come on, Simba. Here we go. Boo, over here. Eat it, Boo. Is no one eating the fish recipe? What the heck's going on here? Come on, guys. Here, Boo. Eat that. Here's Stella. Simba's eating Splashes. Well, the problem with Splash tasting anything is he's always afraid of new things. Here's Stella. Simba's eating Stella's. Simba's eating his. And Boo's not eating it. So it looks like Simba is the only one that likes the fish recipe. So the verdicts are in, and Simba likes the fish recipe, Simba likes the turkey recipe, and Boo is a maybe on the chicken recipe. 3 out of 4 cats do not like these varieties, which is very disappointing. But I thought the cats could try these so you can get an idea about these and save your money in case these are not a hit with the cats. And that is our taste test and review of these Primal freeze-dried raw toppers. I was really hoping the cats would like them better, but they don't. So this is not something I will be buying again unless Simba really, really ends up loving these. And I can give it to him as a meal topper. Maybe instead of his dried sardines, he can get some of like 1 or 2 of these fish recipe toppers sprinkled on his food, since they do have dried sardines in them. Turkey would be a nice change for him. He can't just survive on dried sardines as a meal topper. And we'll see if Boo eats the chicken recipe. Boo's favorite meal topper is the Stella and Chewy's freeze-dried salmon and cod. So maybe this chicken recipe will be a nice change for him. We'll see if he eats it. What'd you think about that, Simba? Were you happy? Simba says he thinks they're fine. Boo says he's not happy. And Stella says she would prefer it if I just gave them crunchies. There's the crunchy jar. The cats are eating their breakfast right now. They're having homemade raw food, and I used the Primal raw toppers on top of their food. So what I do is I crush it in my fingers and I sprinkle it on their food, kind of like you sprinkle grated cheese on Italian food. So I just crush it up and sprinkle it on their food. So Simba is having one of the fish recipe toppers on his food, and he's almost done eating already. And Splash and Stella are having half of the fish recipe and half of the chicken recipe. And then Boo is having the chicken recipe on his. He usually takes the longest to eat. So it looks like Stella's eating fine and Splash is eating fine. And they're not rejecting the food. We'll see if they finish what's on their plate. But Simba's almost done. So here's Simba's plate. He finished everything. Here's Boo's plate. He did not like the toppers on his food, so he's going to finish this upstairs. Here's Stella's plate. She did not like the toppers on hers very much either. I had to bribe her with a little bit of a squeeze up on it. And this is Splash's plate. He actually did well with the toppers, so he ate his food. It's 1:20 p.m. So Stella was just in the penthouse, and Simba was relaxing on top of the cat tower. And then Stella decided she wanted to come out of the penthouse, and this is where she ended up. And she's been growling and hissing at Simba. So Simba just jumped on the bed. And what's Stella gonna do? Is she gonna hang out up there because now she's happy? Yeah, see? She's trying to scare him off. Stella, that's not right. He was very happy up there. Stella, Simba was very happy up there. That wasn't very nice of you. That was not nice of you. That was mean, Stella. That was not nice. She says she doesn't care. That's okay, Simba. I have another window open in another room. You want to go with me? Come on, let's go in the other room, me and you. There you go, Simba. You could have this window all to yourself, okay? Now he's happy too. Good job, Simba. You're a good boy. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.